before the 10 o'clock news, the Nebraska Lottery winning numbers are drawn for their daily games. Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day. With Nebraska Pick 3, you choose your bet type. In 2x2, there's a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. They're all just $1 to play, with drawings every day. Oh, excuse me. Hi, Mr. Willis.
I'm still looking for my paper.
Guess which part of the day is my favorite?
Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day top prize odds vary by game.
The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group, led by Dr. Daniel Tomes and Dr. Benjamin Bixeman, is committed to providing the best care for all of your neurosurgery needs, like minimally invasive spine procedures, peripheral nerve release, brain surgery, including tumor removal and brain injury management, and more. The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group has outreach clinics throughout Nebraska and northern Kansas. Schedule your appointment with the region's top neurosurgeons at 402-904-4729. At the Nebraska Neurosurgery Group in Lincoln on South 27th Street. Or check out the website, nebraskaneurosurgery.net, for a full list of services and outreach clinics.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside. And all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. You heard just before the opens, 12 hours of coverage coming at you from Cedars here just off of 70th and Pioneers, right between 70th and 56th. So about 66th and Pioneers Boulevard here in Lincoln as we are 6 hours down, 6 more to go. And it's been an incredible morning, just as we suspected, as New Day Coffee was here until 10 a.m. Now we have a couple food trucks. Mary Ellen's, obviously friend of the station, another friend of the station, Muchachos, Nick Maestas, as always. So huge thanks to Nick and to Charles from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul as they're here. Folks are sitting outside enjoying the weather. The rain stayed away to this point. At least we got plenty of ticket folks here, plenty of great Cedars people as well. We'll hear from a couple throughout the course of our next 2 hours. You'll hear Austin for the next 4 hours. As he and I will take you till 2 p.m. Strick will be here. He'll join us momentarily, and he'll take you through 4 p.m. as well. You can always chime into the show, 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Sartor Heyman text line, as well as the Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961 if you want to see what's going on outside here at Cedars. We'll hear from Allison, the program director for Cedars, who we have under the understanding of has the most involvement in the new gymnasium that they're trying to build, the indoor athletic complex, that the money, every single penny that you provide and donate, invest into Cedars here on Give to Lincoln Day is going towards that indoor complex. We had a couple of members of Cedars on the drive last week, and I remember them telling us that right now their space is just enough for about a 4-square court. Not very large, not very big, not enough for all the kids that Cedars helps out. So that is a very big need. Obviously, the carriage house, last year's project, is going to be completed later this year in the summer/fall. We heard that from Jim Blue earlier as well. And so carriage house about to be completed. Now it's time to set our focus on the indoor athletic complex, a much needed necessity for Cedars here.
Excited to talk with Allison about that because, as Kristen was telling us, she was really behind the concept of it, the design of it, and she's going to be the one that, programs that space, that puts it to good use. So to get the the brainiac behind why this was necessary, and to hear what Cedars plans to do with it is going to be incredible. It's awesome to hear that the carriage house is just about ready, right? We heard all about that last year, providing a great service. As everything here at Cedars is a great service for those who need it most. But we're sports guys. We're maybe a little partial to the activity center and playing sports. So to see that go up, because when you think about the power of sports, of competition, of getting energy out, of blowing off steam, of the bond between you and a teammate, whether it's just for that one day and that one game, or someone you play t-ball with from preschool all the way through your senior year of high school, there's just something so connective, so fun, so empowering about sports that it's awesome that the kids at Cedars will have a new place to play and participate like that.
Yeah, so Allison is going to join us here in a little over 20 minutes or so. She also is involved with the mental health side of things, and that's such an important part, obviously, with May, as it is Mental Health Awareness Month, but also just because in a kid's life, right, it's so important to make sure that they know that they have support and somebody's always there, and Cedars does an incredible job. Once again, 464-5685. Nick Sainert, Austin Norman with you. It's technically the happy hour. Huge thanks to Empire Fence and Netting for their support of the show, as always. Austin, it's a big day for you and I. We're going to head down to Stillwater after a little about 4 p.m. or so here. So we got to get out of here around 4 p.m. or so, head down south to Stillwater. It's going to be a good weekend of baseball. I think you are just as excited as I am to get down there to see not only Nebraska, but there's also a couple of other intriguing teams in there in Florida, Oklahoma State, Niagara even, right? We talk about the geography, and we know NCAA, the committee really focuses on geography, and I think that's a piece of this that hasn't really been discussed. Niagara having to come from Lewiston, New York. Niagara, just a university, a private institution, by the way, that holds just under about 4,000 students in total, where now you have Florida, who's a nationally respected and prevalent program. They both have to make pretty long journeys to Oklahoma State and Stillwater, where now you also have Nebraska that's only a 5.5-hour drive.
It is a benefit, certainly, for Nebraska. I think the pitching lines up really well for Nebraska as well. Problem is it's a small ballpark, right? That's where you're concerned about maybe the distance for Niagara and the distance for Florida, but at the same time, those are offensive-minded teams. Yeah. Florida especially, Niagara might have the second-best hitter in Eric Radizak on their roster. If a team gets hot with the bats, it won't take much to get hot with the bats necessarily. So you think about Nebraska's 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation in Sears and McConaughey. They're either going to have their best stuff, or the lineup's going to have to step up for Nebraska. We're expecting a lot of red. Yeah, we absolutely are. I mean, with the proximity, Nebraska's been to Oklahoma State, the Stillwater, Oklahoma City regional, more than its fair share of times in the last decade because of just how heavily the baseball selection committee weights geography, even more so than the March Madness college basketball selection committee. So if you're in the area, if you're in Stillwater, come see us. We will be there at the Garage, I believe it's called.
The Garage Burgers and Beer. That's all you got to search.
Garage Burgers and Beer. Perfect. We'll be hanging out in the garage. Yep. We'll go to the game after that. We'd love to see you, hang out with you. Nick, it's my first regional.
Yeah,
look at that.
Mine as well.
What a weekend.
So there you have it. So we'll talk plenty of baseball. We'll have some great content coming your way this weekend rather. Interviews, post-game reaction, pre-game setups from not only the Nebraska stuff, but also Oklahoma State and Niagara tomorrow night. Also across the entire country, we're going to be covering it all. Before we talk more about that, and before we are joined by Allison here in just about 10 minutes or so, let's talk about one of the football schedules that came out earlier today. Nebraska, Iowa. It was announced officially a 7:30 p.m. kickoff for Nebraska and Iowa, the first time prime time under the lights in Kinnick of the rivalry. A couple years ago, when Mickey Joseph was the interim coach, his last game, Nebraska went on the road, beat Iowa because of Chris Kolarvik last-second interception on defense. But in a game ended at night, didn't start at night. It's going to be a cold one in late November for Nebraska, Iowa.
In Iowa City, and part of that is because Minnesota, Wisconsin moved on to Black Friday. So that gets the noon Eastern spot. I don't know what I feel about that. I feel like Nebraska, Iowa carries more cachet nationally than Minnesota, Wisconsin does. So maybe that's why they move it into the primetime slot at 6:30. But, man, Nebraska doesn't play that late on Black Friday. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. Nebraska fans are so used to the Huskers playing that 11 o'clock kick or that 2:30 kick on Black Friday specifically, to have to go all through Thanksgiving Day with no Huskers and then get all your Black Friday shopping done. Usually you get home and, hey, pop on the TV. The adrenaline of getting the chance at Iowa keeps you going. Or maybe you make it through lunchtime. Okay, afternoon game, we're fine. You got to wait all day to take on Iowa now, and you're stuck with Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's going to be a bear.
Yeah, the Paul Bunyan X, right? So that one's going to be at 11 a.m. Central Time on CBS, the same slot that Nebraska and Iowa was last year. But now you go back to Nebraska, Iowa, 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern on NBC. Now we know of a couple night games, though, right? Couple games, and we haven't heard all the schedules and times for Nebraska. We know obviously Illinois is going to be a Friday night type of game, so you can expect a primetime one there on a Friday night. We know Colorado is going to be on a primetime as well. And now Iowa, that's 3 of them. And Nebraska, a team that's in the last couple of years been very, very common to play at 11 a.m., right? And we always go through the same song and dance of like, well, do you like 11 a.m.s? Do you like to be able to wait all day and worry about playing at night? And in reality, none of that really matters. But now we know Nebraska has 3 nighttime games,
which could turn into 4 if Nebraska takes care of business as like we think they could going into Ohio State, and Ohio State's as good as advertised. Maybe Nebraska gets another night game in Columbus potentially, but at least 3 is, I think, exciting because Nebraska's been shushed off into the early 11 o'clock sleepy kickoffs.
Yes.
Or the 2:30s. It's kind of just weird timing. More often than not, you want to be playing at night, right? And I think part of the reason Nebraska's moved into some of the earlier games too is obviously the Fox partnership, right? Making Big Noon their window.
Yeah.
But with the return of college football to NBC and the Big Ten to NBC, that's another network that is going to make that nighttime game its game of the week. It's going to focus on that. It's going to put all its attention, all its eggs into that basket. By the time we get to Nebraska, Iowa, the hope is that this is a matchup of 2 teams that are 7-4 or better. I think the schedule sets up really well for Iowa. I think they're in a really good position this year. In Nebraska, we'll see. They have to prove it, but we've talked about the 7-game runway. I think NBC made a smart move by picking that game to make it a night game, even if it feels weird and even if it's going to be cold.
Here's what's interesting. You mentioned that the in a dream scenario, quote unquote, I suppose, 7-4 for both teams. Think about the difference between last year and since 2011 when Nebraska entered the Big Ten to now this year in 2024, the different landscape. That normally could be a potential, this is the winner of this one, moves on to Indy next weekend and plays in the Big Ten championship game as the Big Ten West representative. That's not going to be the case this year. It's going to be obviously the 2 teams at the top. Everybody believes it or projects it, predicts, thinks that it'll be Ohio State and Oregon, right? But no matter how you set it up, whichever teams are there at the top, they're going to be near or past double-digit wins, and there's not going to be a team like Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin that has 7 or 8 wins and representing one side of the division.
Not in the Big Ten championship game, but it could be a game significant. We mentioned Minnesota, Wisconsin earlier in the day. I'm not sold on Minnesota. Wisconsin, we'll see in year 2 under Fickle, but both of those games on Black Friday could potentially be meaningful for who's going to be the Big Ten's 3rd college football playoff representative. You're not guaranteed 3. You tend to assume that your top 2 in the Big Ten will make it. But what's Penn State this year? James Franklin's in a little bit of hot water. How does Michigan respond? Washington, I mean, I think we're both, Jed Fish fans, but what do they look like year 1 in the new conference? Is USC's defense, up to snuff, and how does the offense translate? I think this, again, I mentioned the schedule for Iowa and Nebraska, seemingly due for most of the last 20 years. There could be a lot of intrigue for who gets that 3rd playoff spot if there's one available out of the Big Ten. And I think if the Big Ten's drawing it up, they're hopeful that even if it's not, they're rooting for Iowa or Nebraska to make it. They want it to be a significant game in the playoff race when it comes down to tiebreakers and whatever else follows on Saturday.
So remember, a couple of changes with Black Friday now also. There's going to be more football just nationwide on. Raiders and Chiefs play at 2 p.m. Central Time on Black Friday. And then in the SEC, you have the Egg Bowl between the 2 Mississippi schools, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, moving from Thanksgiving to Black Friday. Then you also have Georgia and Georgia Tech moving to Black Friday. So it's not solely just Nebraska and Iowa anymore. Now you're having multiple conferences, teams, and even leagues now with the NFL and college football both dueling it out on Black Friday.
I was just going to say the NFL, right?
Yeah.
defending champion, two-time defending champion Kansas City Chiefs are playing in the afternoon spot. I know there's a lot of Husker Chief fan crossover here in these parts, so I think for those fans, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Chiefs will play, get that game done, get your supper in, and then plop right back down on the couch and watch Nebraska-Iowa. I don't love the NFL interfering on Black Friday. I get that it was always bound to happen. I wish someone would have stepped in and done that, because Black Friday just feels like a college football national holiday. It should be. I think that's one area where the college football purist in me will find a hill to die on, is that Black Friday should be reserved for college football, for these rivalry games at the end of a season, instead of just, another game on the NFL schedule.
Because we're also accustomed to NFL games being played the day before on Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. We're used to seeing, obviously, the Packers play on Thanksgiving, the Lions and Bears, I believe, this year play on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys are a staple, have been a staple the last couple of years as well. And so we can talk about all the stuff happening that week. Also, just with Nebraska specific, you have Nebraska-Creighton that week. You have Nebraska, obviously, Wisconsin football earlier that previous
basketball
weekend.
got moved.
That's right. Basketball got moved
Saturday.
to the day before.
To Saturday. Because it was supposed to be on Friday. It got moved to Saturday.
Yes, got moved to Saturday. And then, obviously, Thanksgiving with all the NFL, all the other sports going, all the events there going on. Then the next day, it's all college football with the NFL. We also know this about the NFL, right? They're going for this world domination where they're playing in different countries, and they just mentioned they're continuing to look at like Australia as a potential spot to play a game each season. We know they're starting in Spain this year as well. The NFL took over Christmas Day. That was always feeling like the NBA's type of day.
Yeah.
NFL plays on Christmas this last season. So the NFL is continuing this like trek of we're trying to take over and be everybody's main focus throughout every single day of the year. And so we see that here again where they play on Black Friday in addition to Thanksgiving, and while college football is pretty prevalent on that day.
It's pretty interesting to see this shift in approach from the NFL, because I think there's something to be said for consistency. Know that when you turn your TV on at 11 and at 2:30 or at noon and 3:30 on Sundays, and then at 7 o'clock at night, there's games. Okay, then you got a Monday night game. Cool, that's an event. It's a big deal every week. There's something to be said for that consistency and approach of what's going to be on air when. But there's also something to be said on the flip side for take over as many time slots as you can. Be ubiquitous. Always be at the forefront, right? The NFL, I think, really did a good job of getting out in front of, making its schedule reveal an event, of making the draft into not just a one-day event, but into a 3-day event where there's plenty of coverage, of making free agency, of making OTAs an event. You can't forget about the NFL. They don't let you. So they've turned every little thing on the calendar into a big deal. It was only a matter of time until they tried to turn all 17, probably soon 18 games into those big events at the forefront that you aren't allowed to miss.
Yeah, we got plenty of stuff coming up. Just a couple other nationally relevant game times before we take our first break. The Red River rivalry between Oklahoma and Texas, obviously the first time that both those teams will be in the SEC, going to be on, once again, it's, Oklahoma, Texas, kickoff at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. It's a little delayed this year. It's waited until October 12th to be played, October 12th, 2:30 p.m. Central Time on ABC. All right, when we come back, we are once again live here at Cedars. 66th and Pioneers is the place to be. Yeah, if you're finding yourself driving around aimlessly during your lunch hour, come on by, say hello, grab some food from both Mary Ellen's, their food truck is here, as well as Muchachos. Cedars doing incredible things here for the kids in our community right now. They house over 1,000 kids every single day, and you can help make their vision of providing these kids with an indoor space to move and play a reality today. On this Give to Lincoln Day, you go to givetolincoln.com. Once again, Cedars 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. As of like 9:30, there were 297 donations just in the first 3.5 hours of us being out here to specifically Cedars. I'm excited to get a new updated number. Hopefully we get that within the next hour and a half that Austin and I are on the airwaves. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Allison, the program director, has her fingerprints all over the indoor activity center that we're raising money for today on Give to Lincoln Day. We're going to talk to Allison of CEDARS, the program director, also does some things with mental health. And we're going to talk about that as we are wrapping up the month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. So once again, when we come back, we'll be joined by Allison of CEDARS to talk all things on this Give to Lincoln Day. Nick Sanders, Austin Norman with you. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
There are over 1,000 kids in CEDARS care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to CEDARS will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the CEDARS organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to CEDARS and support Lincoln kids today.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590 5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. We are back here. Cedars 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. Nick Sainert, Austin Norman with you until 2 o'clock today. As it's somewhat of a, it is a party. It's a celebration. They just made the announcement over the speaker. Over $196,000 has been raised for Cedars specifically. So an incredible job by everybody. And we still have 6 hours to go. And just us being out here, you can donate all day and all night long as well through the month of May. It's Give to Lincoln Day here as we're ready to be joined now by Allison, the program director here at Cedars. And Allison, first of all, hello. Second of all, tell us a little bit more about how you got involved in Cedars, how long you've been here, what do you do?
So I have been with Cedars for a total of 5.5 years. I started as a therapist working with our kids that live in our emergency shelter. And then for the last 2.5, I have been the program director here.
So we are under the impression that you have your fingerprints all over the indoor activity center that we're raising money for today. And tell us why this is such a big need for the 1,000+ kids that you guys deal with every single day.
It's huge for kids who are in our care for all of our programs. So kids deserve to have normal childhoods, regardless of what situations they find themselves in, regardless of their home lives. Kids deserve to have good childhoods. And how much does sports play into that, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys played sports, you understand all the learning opportunities that come from that, right? You learn leadership, you learn how to handle failure and disappointments. You get to understand how to work through adversity.
Yeah.
It's such a rich learning environment and opportunity for kids in playing sports. It's also a great, what we understand about how the body reacts to trauma. This is going to be a therapeutic recreation center. So kids who are here with trauma, sometimes we don't want to sit and talk about the hardest moments of our life, but you know what we can do? We can do things with rhythm. We can shoot baskets. We can build a relationship. So what we're doing here is trauma healing and giving kids the childhood they deserve.
This indoor activity center, is it replacing something? Is it an update to something? Is it a brand new building? What's going on with that?
So this is going to be a brand new opportunity for kids in our community. Right now, what we have is Foursquare on tape. in our shelter, which is really, really fun. But sometimes bouncing balls and ceiling tiles are not the best combination.
Sure.
And kids need more. I mean, we understand
Yeah.
Nebraska winters, Nebraska summers. Sometimes doing those activities inside, that's not the most conducive. So this is going to create a world of opportunities for our kids, not only in shelter, but for all of our programs.
You mentioned the emergency shelter, and you guys are pretty proud of that, right?
Yes.
Because it is one of, if not the only emergency shelter in the state of Nebraska. Is that right?
In the southeast.
In the
Nebraska
southeast
area,
part
yeah.
of Nebraska. Okay.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, talk about that, because I think from the outside looking in, and if you're not directly involved with Cedars, if you're not a member of the team, we kind of just go about our day, not really thinking a whole lot about it, don't really realize or acknowledge that it's a part of this community. But there's a lot of kids that need help.
Yes.
And there's a lot of kids that at the moment's notice need help. At midnight, at 7 a.m., at 3 p.m., they need help.
Yes.
And you guys are there with that emergency shelter.
Absolutely. So these are kids, and sometimes we talk about there are so many kids in our community who are experiencing homelessness.
Yeah.
And so we don't often see that, right? It's kind of hidden in plain sight. So when we have kids that call us 24/7, 7 days a week, we are that safe place for kids to go to, regardless of what's going on. When kids need a safe place, Cedars has always been here and will continue to be here.
How long has the indoor activity center been in the works, right? Last year's project was the Carriage House. What's the planning process been like to get this off the ground to where this is your goal for this year?
Oh man, this has been really fun. What I really, really love about Cedars and what keeps me here for the kids is the core value of innovation. And so Cedars has been here for 76 years now.
Yeah.
And it's not just, hey, if you have this thing, this is what Cedars does, but it's really, what do the kids and our families in our community need? And then how do we respond to that? And so identifying, this is what the research is showing us is the best way to do trauma treatment. Movement and exercise is the way that we can help kids heal from the trauma experiences they've had. And so as we started to see that research, instead of waiting for that just to happen, we went out and did this. So this has been a few years planning and really making sure the research is informing what we're doing. And then seeing the Lincoln community show up so we can really bring this to fruition.
So once again, we're here with the program director, Allison from Cedars, and we talked about Foursquare tape, right?
Yeah.
And balls and ceiling tiles don't match and don't make it easy and don't allow the proper amount of space, right? You guys have done an incredible job with limited space. Now you're about to have this, and you're working towards a much larger indoor area,
Yes.
much needed. And what's all going to be a part of it? What's in there? What are these grand visions that I'm sure are just circulating in your brain of what you're going to be able to do with that space?
Yeah. So having the space means that we get to meet whatever needs exist for our clients. So this is going to be an indoor basketball court. How many of our kids come to us, but you know what? They, because of no fault of their own, had to move foster homes to a different area, and they missed school tryouts. They missed their physical, so they can't participate in normal kid activities. So this is going to be a recreation center where kids get to be part of a team, where they get to play. That's basketball, volleyball, soccer, pickleball, anything that happens. But not only that, but gosh, how many of our kids missed their proms, and they missed homecoming, and they missed graduations? This is going to be an activity center, a therapeutic space, but also a place where we get to let kids be kids.
Mr. Blue made a really important or interesting point that I did not think about when you brought up the tryouts piece of it.
Yeah.
And even with your guys' limited space, there he mentioned a young man who was here last year that didn't miss the tryout, but was with you guys for a decent amount of time. You were driving him around to weight rooms and to local areas to get him ready for the wrestling tryouts, and you got him ready and he made the team. Like, those are things that certainly while they're here, you guys are certainly, helping them out and giving them the ability to make new friends and have a structured environment. But then you're also preparing them for when they're not with you guys and when they move and grow up and are ready to kind of spread their wings, I suppose, in the quote unquote real world.
Yes. We get to be that foundation for kids, right? If we help reduce the barriers, we give them the skills and tools they need, then they get to go home and they get to live the rest of their lives. We get to help them overcome the hard obstacles and barriers that they have. So we really get to be that foundation, and then they go on and continue to be the awesome kids that they are.
You, in addition to the program director, you're also a therapist. You work with mental health, the mental health side of things, which is really growing in the awareness of it.
Yes.
We're seeing it nationwide, I suppose, of like the growth of just mental health awareness. And May is obviously an important month for that as well. Talk about just kind of your experience dealing with that, with these kids that are in a difficult situation most of the time, from your perspective of dealing with the mental health side of things.
Yeah, so we see a lot of mental health like we do kind of just in the general population, but what these kids are facing and kids and families in our communities are experiencing is challenging, and their responses to trauma that they're in their lives is really normal. And what we know is it actually takes 17 years for 14% of the best practice and research to actually go into practice. So we're missing at least an entire generation of children with what we know works the best, and movement and exercise is what the research is showing is the best way to treat trauma. And so what we're doing here is saying, hey, we know this. With the help of the Lincoln community, we're going to have a place where we can do the most innovative, cutting-edge, research-based trauma healing that's happening anywhere in the country, but also here in our community.
And obviously this is focused on kids, right? CEDARS kids, but that's good advice for everyone, right? Get up and move. Whether you're in a home or you're here at CEDARS, whatever it is, just get up and move.
The movement really helps, and this movement like rhythm actually is really calming to the body. You think about things you do with babies, you rock them, you bounce them, you sway. For our nervous system, rhythm is really healing and is really comforting. So doing that thing, we tap our pencil, we shake our foot when we're nervous, that's our body's way of trying to calm itself down. So when we know that, sometimes we can go in and say, hey, you know what? That kid's not going to want to talk to me about their trauma on the hardest day of their life. But you know what they will do? We'll go shoot baskets. We'll go dribble a ball, because you know what dribbling is? Rhythm. You know what walking and running is? Rhythm. So we get to do things that are fun, that don't feel hard, they don't feel invasive, but are going to have some of the same impacts when we talk about healing trauma for kids.
And like you said too, it's probably easier to build that relationship instead of just face to face on a couch. Oh, this is big formal. It's informal. You're just hanging out, and so that stuff might come out more smoothly, simply, naturally, maybe.
Yes, because relationships are the basis that we need for trauma-informed care, right? So no matter what happens, if I come, I can give you really hard news when you know that I care about you and that I'm going to be here for you. So it starts with that relationship. So this allows us to build relationships. This space will allow us to introduce rhythm in a way that feels really comfortable for kids. This is how we're going to do trauma-informed care. This is going to be a huge piece of it.
And with each child, it's unique, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes a different amount of time. There's no set standard. Okay, you're going to be able to develop a relationship with me in 3 months, where in Austin it might take 6 months, right?
Absolutely.
So it's unique in that, to where when you are in a natural environment like a basketball court, or even just walking on a sidewalk, where it doesn't feel as, I don't want to say forced, but structured. It's going to be so much more effective, it feels like.
Absolutely. And that's what CEDARS has always embraced, is what does this child need? What does this kid in our community need? And how do we develop a program around that, instead of saying, hey, this is what we do. Come over here and just try it.
Is it hard to be you guys have so many programs, so many great programs. Is it hard to be everything for everyone, or does it just make sense with the CEDARS mission that you're able to help as many kids as possible with all your programs?
It is hard, but it's worth it. And kids in our community, families in our community deserve that. And so as long as there are needs for our families in our community, we'll be here to find a way to meet it.
Let's finish up with this one. Once again, Allison, program director, also therapist, deals with mental health here at CEDARS. Proudest moment in your time at CEDARS?
Oh,
what's one? I asked Mr. Blue this earlier this morning, and he mentioned that the compliments that from children, saying this is such an awesome place to be. I love being here. I love being involved with you guys. From your perspective, what's your proudest moment in your time?
Oh gosh, how long do we have?
As much as you want, as long as you want.
I think the best moment. So there was a family that was in crisis, and we need to have a child, an 8-year-old. They needed a safe place to stay that night. And most of our kids in our emergency shelter are a little bit older teenagers. Yeah. And so figuring out, what does this child need? How do we bring them in? And I got to watch them all go outside and go play basketball. And so teenagers are spicy, right? Yeah. And so there's a lot of stigmas around teenagers, and they're, what are they like? They're the coolest people you will ever get a chance to meet. So I got to watch them outside, and just the way they came around this kid who was in a really, really tough moment. But when you see 6 teenagers around, cheering on a little 8-year-old because he finally granny shot it into the basket, and to see their celebration, when you get to see kids be the absolute best people that you know they are, that's my proudest moment.
Is it hard to not get attached?
Oh, no, we do get attached.
You do get attached.
Yeah, we get attached because kids deserve to have people that genuinely love and show up for them. They deserve it. And so I will keep getting attached and
There it is.
so proud when they leave every time.
How about that? Allison, appreciate it
Thanks for having
so
me.
much. Thank you so much. Great stuff there. By the way, at the start of the segment, we talked about it. Over $196,000 has been donated specifically to Cedars so far. And that's just remarkable. So we appreciate all the support. It's not done yet. Give to Lincoln.com. Make sure you select Cedars, and whatever contribution, investment back into these children that you can make is greatly appreciated from the fine folks at Cedars. Nick Sander, Austin Norman, we're here. Cedars 6601 at Pioneers Boulevard on Give to Lincoln Day. We still have a little over 5 hours of our time out here. We're here until 6 p.m. tonight. Come on out. The food trucks are here for another 10, 15 minutes. Mary Ellen's to our right, Muchachos to our left. A wonderful group of people from Cedars and everywhere included in the middle as we continue this Give to Lincoln Day celebration right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Oh, Ghost of George Washington here. Being the face of the dollar bill used to mean something, but today I just don't get any respect. But that's all changed with Lotto America from the Nebraska Lottery. People know that Lotto America only costs $1 to play, has a $2 million starting jackpot, and drawings 3 nights a week. I'm back, baby.
Calm down, George.
Hey, nobody asked you, Ghost of Andrew Jackson.
Lotto America top prize odds 1 in 26 million.
Spring in Nebraska brings green grass and warmer weather, but it also brings severe storms which can cause damage to your home. Meadowlark Exterior specializes in hail, storm, and wind damage restoration, as well as roofing, siding, and gutters for commercial or residential buildings. Meadowlark Exteriors focuses on fine craftsmanship and proves that in their attention to detail. They offer free roof inspections and estimates and insurance claim assistance, serving the Lincoln and Omaha surrounding areas. Call today at 402-875-2956 or go to meadowlarkexteriors.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green.
Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Play ball! Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night, or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers. Strike three, you're out! Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
I'm Ryan Osted. Golf is great because it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and have a competitive 18 holes, you can make it that. If you want to go out and have a scramble and just have the time of your life, if you want to have a charity golf tournament to raise money for some great cause, you can make it that. It is flexible to be whatever you need it to be at that particular moment in your life. And I've needed golf to be different things at different points in my life. And I'm certainly thankful that I was able to learn the game as a kid and continue to play it now as an adult.
Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Obviously, one of the best parts of lunch hour is you get your grub on. Obviously, earlier I dabbled in the Muchachos game. Mm-hmm. Had some delicious nachos. Come on up, Nick. We already talked. I talked to Nick earlier, and I said, Nick, you got to get up here. And Nick, obviously, owner of Muchachos down here in Lincoln, a staple in the community, quickly becomes a staple in the community. As take a seat, Nick. I told you, man, earlier when I came and got those nachos that you were going to come on at some point.
Listen, I thought I would just try to skirt around you guys, but I'm too chubby to.
You can't walk right in front of us and expect us not to see you when you're talking to DP.
I had to walk by you to get to Mary Ellen's. Okay, so I mean,
hey, that's what I was going to say. Is that's one of the best parts about the lunch hour is and being here. Also, got your food earlier, and then now that you guys are about ready to head out of here, it's time to get the other ones.
So you got some chicken thigh over here?
Roasted chicken, green beans.
Roasted chicken and green beans. I picked up the pulled pork and mac and cheese. And then we also have a little bit of hand-infused chocolate raspberry rum cake from Beatrice Bakery.
Oh.
You're trying.
So we're going to we'll go ahead and grab a piece.
You're going to have to shut that camera off.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Well, we can arrange that because this is one of our favorite segments.
You're the food guy. You have to break it down for us.
Oh, listen.
Yep, go ahead.
I didn't get this way by not eating dessert.
There it is. Well, I mean, as you and I already discussed, I mean,
oh my God.
Is it good?
Yeah, dude.
Good. That's what we like to hear. It's new. It's new for Beatrice Bakery.
Bring them.
So-
Yeah, you sell that at the store.
That is
At
what
the-
I do.
Yeah,
we
I'll
do.
be by.
All right, cool. Sounds good. You need to stop by more often, Nick.
I know.
With and without food.
You know, it's a two-way street. 11th. Well, shoot, it's not.
It's not
literally
anymore.
just a one-way. Yeah, never mind.
No, for real. So I think talk about you guys and how the business has been going, because you guys are in Lincoln here, and you're just down the road from our station down there at 1040 O Street, just down 11th Street. And you guys, it feels like, are always popping. You always got something going on.
Yeah, it's been a fun year, man. We with the closing of our Omaha store, I feel like I've been able to concentrate on Lincoln a lot more, and we've been doing a lot more fun things. And we've got some NIL deals that are super fun. We're doing a deal with Sam and Josiah, that burger, that's been really, really fun. And then Malachi is going to be in tonight doing a book signing.
Sweet.
And we're, Give to Lincoln Day. So obviously big for us. We are matching his donation to the Fly Like Kite Foundation tonight. So always a lot of fun stuff going down there. And that's, I love it. I love being a part of this weird, community through food, which I never thought,
Which it's so incredible because, and like, obviously if folks follow you on social media and such, they hear and know about you, right? Because that's also how you can connect in a positive way. Also, it can be negative,
right?
But you can also connect in a positive way via social media. There's been speed bumps, right?
Absolutely.
And that, once again, like DP always talks about friction, and it helps you get to where you're at and stuff like that. Talk about what this last year has been like, because there has been adversity, there has been speed bumps. But here you guys are. You're smiling. We're enjoying food together, and that's kind of really the most important thing. We're alive.
This is where we grow, right? Like we grow in the weeds a little bit, and we learn who we're not in these moments. And I think I learned a lot, about the Omaha store closing. I learned that I'm not someone that can manage multiple locations at once without having partners and stuff like that. So it's been good. It's been refreshing. It took a hard, it took a good beat to mourn. And I mean, literally mourning something you created, when we're putting it under. And I mean, I still drive down 13th Street and my grandfather's face is on an empty, on the wall of an empty restaurant. And that just breaks my heart still. But coming out and being a part of something like this is what I love. Like this is what I got into it for.
That's the thing I was going to say is you guys started as a food truck.
Yeah.
And I remember I don't know if I've ever told you this. I remember seeing on social media during the pandemic when you guys did the take home meals or the deliveries at home. That was my first taste of you guys.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was the brick and mortar spot. And I remember coming in early in my college days and being like, this is where I'm going to hang out. We're going to grab a breakfast burrito. That's delicious. And it's a really cool vibe in there down on 11th Street. And now here you guys are. I mean, truly a staple, a well-known piece of the community, but it all started from that food truck.
Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Charles and I started the same month.
Wow.
On the same block. We were both serving at the Grand Manse before football games.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. And so that's how I got to know Charles. And then we both opened a brick and mortar the same year.
Yeah.
And it's just been, it's hard not to love and root for that guy,
of course.
And just being a part of a community with people like him and a lot of my other food truck friends, man, like it is literally life-giving.
Does it feel like you went back to your roots being in the food truck today?
Absolutely. I've been doing it more since Omaha closed. And I feel like it's getting back to who I am and who I want to be and who I want muchachos to be. And it's helping me lose weight, just running around all the times. But, it's fun, man. It's a beautiful day out here today. A lot of people doing a lot of good. And that's what I love about it.
All right. So once again, Nick Maestas of Muchachos with us. I mean, that's the thing. That's the goal, right? Feel good about it and feel like you're doing something to involve it. And that's something I really appreciate from both you and Charles, right? Like, because in this community and just in the world, there's so much competition, and I have to be the best. I need to be the best. Believe everybody else. I need to be the best.
No.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't.
And it's not just
that
that way maybe in the food industry, but also in me and Austin's business and in sports. Like, I got to be the best. Nobody else can even have success.
No,
that doesn't have to be that way.
I don't think it needs, or even, I don't think I want it to be that way. Like when I pull up to an event, a festival or anything like that, and I see other food trucks, those are my friends. Like those are the people in the industry who know me and know like the struggles and know how hard this stuff is.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's refreshing to see these guys at the same place. We root for each other. We lift each other up. We help each other out. If we need something, we can lean on them and vice versa. And I don't know that I'd be as good in as good of a spot as I am without, the food trucks like Charles and Heoya and, a bunch of those other guys. So,
all right. I always ask you this question every single time I talk to you. How much, because obviously a big part of our business and talking about NIL, how's that benefited you guys?
Crazy. It's been pretty nuts, man. Just with Malachi, I mean, we got known, I think, for the pipeline burrito,
Absolutely.
the Husker offensive line there. But, whenever you have Todd Blackledge and RG3 coming on talking about what it's like to drop a deuce after eating your pipeline burrito on national TV.
He showed the burrito on television.
Yeah. It was when you have a Heisman Trophy winner and Monday Night Football guy, and it changed things for me. And then with Malachi's story, which if you go to flylightkai.org today, check his stuff out. But we've been on CBS Sunday Morning together and Kelly Clarkson show, and like the things that this life has afforded me, especially with NIL, has been just wild. And sometimes I have to pinch myself, and it's pretty awesome.
Plus, with Malachi, also Craig and Miranda are just awesome people.
They're wonderful.
Their entire family's awesome. I knew Craig and Miranda well before even Malachi.
Sure.
I played baseball with Malachi's older brother, Ian.
Oh, yeah.
And so I growing up, so I've known that family for years, and now seeing what they've been able to do and help with Malachi, right? And what Malachi's done in the community, great to see. And I was glad to see you guys working together. All right, Nick, how can people reach out if they want food?
Yeah.
Where do they need to go for catering opportunities, group events, all that stuff?
I'll plug it. Yeah. Yomuchacho.com has all of our info. You can order online if you want to pick up at our restaurant. There's delivery, DoorDash options, all right on our website. 416 South 11th. Coffee, tacos, beer, margaritas, sweaty hugs from food truck owners. Whatever you need. We got
Great conversation as well. I can attest to that. Nick Maestas of Muchachos, they're here. Nick, appreciate you being out here, man. Always good to sit down and
Huskers,
chop it
baby.
up. There it is.
Sweeping the weekend.
Let's hope so.
Sweep the weekend,
Let's
baby.
hope so. As Will
Fire
Bell
me
said,
up.
5 wins away from Omaha.
I'm ready.
That's
Let's
what
go.
they said. So once again, Nick Maestas of Muchachos. By the way, a little bit ago, we found out $196,000 more than $196,000 raised specifically for Cedars, and it's all because of you guys. Give to Lincoln.com, the place to go, and make sure you select Cedars. We'll get a new number as coming back. Nick is loving the hand infused raspberry chocolate.
Let's take our
cake.
bites. How about that?
It's time for us to take our break. Here, Rico, let's play the 10-second station ID while Austin and I take a bite here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, so I'm all in on the raspberry hand-infused chocolate cake. I mean, that is incredible.
It is moist. It is chocolatey.
Dude.
It is raspberry-ish, a little bit of the rum.
Yeah,
kick.
but it doesn't
Oh my
overpower.
gosh.
It doesn't
Oh,
overpower.
unfair.
And you got a little crisp edge, too,
Yeah.
on a couple of the pieces that Rebecca gave us. My goodness.
Wow.
Get on down here. Get to Beatrice Bakery. Grab yourself. This is their new product, hand-infused chocolate raspberry cake. As you can see, big bite's already been taken out of my piece as well as Austin's. We're going to finish this one. When we come back, plenty more to get to. We'll also be joined by a special guest in the 1:30 segment. Hour left of myself and Austin Norman before Austin and Strick take it over from 2 to 4. We're here at Cedars 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. Thanks to Charles from Mary Ellen's. Thanks to Nick Maestas from Muchachos. And thanks to everybody that's taken part in Give to Lincoln Day here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. See a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. An afternoon high around 76. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see a continued chance of showers and storms. An afternoon high around 74. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Hamann Jewelry, here to drop some knowledge bombs on how to wow your woman. Size matters, but not the way you're thinking, guys. Make sure you know her ring size before you even think about popping the question. If you aren't a surprise kind of guy, ask her. I bet she knows her size. If you are a surprise kind of guy, bring in a piece and we can get close to the right size. We will make it perfect for her when the time is right. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Hamann Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. C is for chunk. Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in, hour number 2 of the show. Stricky walking up to Cedars here, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. Man, there's just a lot of good people here as the Cedars team members are standing along, Pioneers Boulevard, as waving batons, flags, getting people to honk the horns as Stricky is here as well. Nice to see you, buddy. And really good people with Charles from Mary Ellen's and
He's
Nick
carrying a
Maestas.
screwdriver. What do you think that's about?
Nick Maestas from Muchachos. Good stuff there. You've heard from both of those guys over the last hour or so here. Balloons are unfortunately popping, though.
I was very confused as to what that was the first time, and now it makes a lot more sense.
I will say they're popping less than they did last year. Last year they popped
True.
a little more often. There was a little bit more wind last year.
We got a lot more honks today, too.
Yeah, which here's the thing, though, Austin. The sun's coming out. It's a really good day here. Give to Lincoln Day. Once again, over $196,000. I would imagine that number has crept over 200 here since we heard about an hour and a half ago or so. That number of $196,000 specifically for Cedars. Great stuff with Allison, the program director, earlier, right? Learned a lot about what's their goals, what's their vision for this indoor athletic center that they're raising money to build today for the 1,000+ children that they work with every single day here at Cedars. And so obviously Carriage House is getting ready to be completed later this summer / fall, according to Mr. Jim Blue. And then also just Cedars doing some incredible things. So once again, kids come to Cedars from across the state of Nebraska. Many of them are victims of abuse or neglect, and many of them are without a safe place to spend that night. Over their 75-year history, Cedars has evolved with emerging best practices to provide exceptional, nurturing, nationally accredited care for Nebraska's most vulnerable kids. We also know that the emergency shelter, the only one in southeast Nebraska. So here at Cedars, their legacy of responding to the changing needs of the kids in our state continues to this day. It's go to givetolincoln.com, select Cedars to invest in the future of over 1,000 kids. AD said it earlier, last week. He said it's not a donation, right? It's an investment, right? Because, and we heard it earlier from members of the Cedars team, that you're going to get that return on investment. Everybody's so concerned about return on investment. What can I get out of this? You're going to be able to get it in basically how you shape the Lincoln community. So as always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the rest of the show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. We have to shout out Rico back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios as well. Rico's been pushing all the buttons all morning and now here all afternoon. So Rico
usually pushes our buttons, but he's pushing the board buttons right now. So thanks, Rico.
I feel a little less stressed without hearing Rico. It's kind of crazy what happens.
Weird, right?
And I know he can hear me, and I'm surprised he hasn't chimed in already. So Rico, we do appreciate you back in our 1040 O Street location. So all right, Austin, before we get to our guest or expected guest at 1:30, we got to talk a little baseball. Because we hit the road for Stillwater later this afternoon. We're leaving TBD around 4:30 p.m. this afternoon. Probably going to run into a little rain in our journey, in our what do I want to say? The adventure down to Stillwater. But nonetheless, chance of rain in the forecast. Let's hope that there's no rain in Nebraska's forecast, right? Because here you have it with Nebraska. Their batting numbers don't line up with Florida. The ballpark plays probably more to Florida's strengths. Doesn't mean Nebraska can't win.
It doesn't, because we know Florida's strength is offense. So that's going to be amplified here in a ballpark like O'Brate Stadium. But at the same time, it's going to probably tick Nebraska's offense up a notch. You look at the matchups for the pitchers that Nebraska's going to face. There's a freshman on the mound for Florida. Not great numbers throughout the course of this year. So, yeah, offense is Florida's strength. That's why I think that even though, Florida – by some measures, pretty lucky to get in, one of the later inclusions in the field. This is a ballpark that sets up to their strength, but also amplifies their weakness as well. They can't pitch it. It's not that great. So Nebraska's offense is going to get a little bit of the boost that everyone's getting from the ballpark, but a scuffling offense that broke out with really a couple players in Karen and Swanson, it might just need the Florida pitching staff to get back on track and set the tone for the weekend.
Let's talk about Florida, right? Because they hit a lot of home runs. They also strike out, right? But let's talk about the expected pitcher, because there's a lot of fuss being made about Jack Caglianone, right? And what he's done on the mound. He gives Florida their best statistical option, but he doesn't seem like their projected guy. Doesn't sound like he's going to get the start tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. against the Huskers. It's going to be the 6'5" freshman righty, Liam Peterson. Now, I was doing some deep dive, and I know you were as well. We were both talking about it, right? And there's going to be plenty more of this analysis and deep dive into Nebraska, Florida, Oklahoma State, and Niagara over the course of the next couple of days. 14 appearances on the season, 12 starts for Liam Peterson, a 2-4 record, a 5.83 earned run average, over 54 innings pitched. How about this? His longest outing of the season came back in March against Texas A&M, back in March, 6 innings. He hasn't gone deeper than 6 innings. A lot of these, appearances out of the 14 have been 2, 3, 4 inning appearances. Nebraska has this opportunity, when you said it, in an offensive-friendly ballpark, to get on the pitcher, in this case, Liam Peterson. Florida doesn't have a great bullpen statistically. If they can rattle some Gators, they're going to find an opportunity to win a game.
Right. We talk about in regionals how pitching is maybe the most important piece of any team's path through a regional. That's why I think it sets up pretty well for Nebraska, and why Florida might have a tougher time, because they're throwing a freshman with an ERA of almost 6 out there who is a starter, but really, with that set you thrown out there, maybe he's more of just an opener, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Florida is doing the Tampa Bay Rays thing where they mix and match, right? They'll go inning by inning, piece it together. They don't have a lot of stretched out arms, so they have a lot of arms. No, Florida's just searching for answers at this point. They're just looking for anyone to get them 3 outs at a time. Yeah. And so if Nebraska can get into the bullpen early against any team, the more times that bullpen door swings open, the less likely, someone is to have it that night. But Florida hasn't had it really all year. They're in a lot of shootouts. There's a reason their record's at 500, because the rare times their pitching has stepped up to the challenge, the offense hasn't been there. More often than not, it's been the offense driving the bus for Florida, but kind of like we saw with Nebraska in midweeks last year. You score 8 runs, you feel good about your chances. Pitching's you have up 9 or 10.
Exactly, and you mentioned the pitching staffs are so crucial in regionals, also similar to what it was in the Big Ten tournament, hitting with 2 strikes, right? Hitting with 2 outs, guys on base, not leaving guys stranded. That's obviously a big part of it. You look at Nebraska and you look at what they did so well in the Big Ten tournament in their run through the elimination bracket. They managed the free passes. They managed not letting guys on base via walks, via errors, and give credit to Nebraska's guys that showed up. The ones that also aren't the most consistent, haven't been the most consistent all season long, showed the ability to go out and throw 6 or 7 successful innings. And Drew Christo, Brockett, Will Walsh, right? And you look at now on the flip side, as an offensive-minded team, Florida is going to look to take advantage of that, right? Jack Caglianone has 29 home runs on the season, 13 more than Nebraska's leading home run hitter in Josh Caron, who has 16. But once again, you look at what Florida does poorly, and that's pitch. We talked about Liam Peterson, and I was looking at this just to give some ideas on what Liam Peterson's season has been like. 29 walks this year. Don't forget, in just 54 innings, 29 walks. He has only 1 game this year where he's walked nobody. He only has 1 game where he hasn't given up a walk, and that did not go well for him because it was a 2-inning appearance against A&M back on March 16th where he allowed 6 earned runs through 6 outs. And so once again, it's in this time where Liam Peterson's not known for being able to be consistently effective, and he also is known for giving up his fair share of free passes. He's allowed 5 or more hits in 6 of those 14 appearances. He's allowed 53 hits total in his 54 innings. This is a guy that, once again, if Nebraska has the right approach at the plate, which they should, in the ballpark that they're playing in, there's a recipe for success.
Nebraska's eyes just can't get too big, right? A stadium that plays as a launching pad with that wind blowing out most often, the temptation as a hitter is to drop that back shoulder a little bit, overswing to try to hit the furthest home run you possibly can. That has not been Nebraska's identity all year. If you're Nebraska, you hope Florida plays into that, right? You hope that they're out ahead of everything, that they're reaching, that they're early, trying to hit that, 565-foot home run that Caglianone did at one point this year, every at bat. Nebraska's going to, find opportunities to elevate and celebrate, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's not been Nebraska's identity. So you have to, adapt to the ballpark without losing yourself, right? Caron, go ahead and swing away. Swanson's got some pop. Dylan Carey, if he gets the right pitch. Stone in Columbus, that's okay. But Riley Silva, Cole Evans, Overbeek, Brumbaugh. I'm interested in the Caden Brumbaugh aspect of this too, and his return to Oklahoma State. Don't get outside of yourselves. Your job is to set the table. Let the big boppers continue to do the damage.
Not to mention that you can still apply pressure on a pitching staff by, doesn't matter if you're playing the best pitching staff in the country or if you're playing one like Florida's who is 135th in the country and runs allowed per 9 innings.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply pressure by being active on the base paths.
Yeah.
Good ball and dirt reads, understanding the timing, right? Seeing if you can, analyze that a pitcher isn't a routine. Travis on the text line, I want to get to this, says you guys are dogging on the Florida pitching staff, who besides Brody Breck from Iowa has Nebraska beat and been a solid arm, Iowa, who beat Nebraska, has been a solid arm that NU has gone against. On top of that, Florida's offense will be by far the best offense Nebraska has seen. They're not playing JV baseball conference in the Big Ten. Now, obviously, that was a little bit of a jumbled text. Basically, he's saying we're dogging on Florida's pitching staff. It's not the same type of talent or lack thereof that Nebraska is probably accustomed to seeing in the Big Ten Conference. And while all those are valid, at the end of the day, it's baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the most important thing I think to keep in mind is that at the end of it all, right? And there's going to be obviously when you're in the regionals, and Oklahoma State has been accustomed to having a regional that's had 13, 14, 15 run type of performances in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska has the pitching staff, most importantly in the starters of Brett Sears and Mason McConaughey, potentially Will Walsh or Drew Christo. And going off of this momentum that they're in coming off the Big Ten tournament with, to at least play it into their lap to be successful. And I guess what I mean by that is when you look at some of the numbers, right, for both sides, it's Nebraska allows just 5 runs per game per 9 innings on average, and that's good for 19th in the country. So you're talking about Nebraska in terms of runs allowed has a top 20 pitching staff, not in the Big Ten Conference, but in the country, right? So then you have that piece of it. Once again, at the end of the day, I think a lot of it's just baseball, right? Limit the free passes. Solo shots are solo shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can weather those. It's the 2 walks that you allowed before Caglianone hits a bomb, right? To make it 3-0 instead of 1-0. Nebraska needs to keep this manageable because they don't have the high-powered offense, but it's also at a place like Oklahoma State, which is known for the high-scoring ball games.
I'll say this to you, Travis, as well. It's Florida. It's not Florida. Last year's team with Wyatt Langford leading the way,
PT
with
Ryapel behind the dish.
right, with Sproat and with Waldrop on the bump. This ain't that. It's not even close. This was a fine SEC. It's a good SEC, pretty clearly the best conference in college baseball, but not an elite by its own standards SEC, I wouldn't say necessarily. Obviously, Tennessee was really good. A&M was really good, but Vandy took a step back. I would say Arkansas hosting, they're good, but I don't know. I think if you're going to give us the knock of, we're digging too much into the numbers and we're dogging them, I would say you're maybe going too far the other way, giving the SEC and Florida specifically maybe too much credit. It's going to be a good matchup, right? Nebraska pitches it better. Florida hits it better, right? Styles make fights. Think back to Nebraska A&M in men's basketball, right?
Yes.
A&M rebounds it better. Nebraska shot it better. Well, it didn't go well for Nebraska against that SEC team, but I think that just how good Brett Sears has been, we assume he gets the ball on Friday. It sets up better for Nebraska than you might think if you just see the name Florida.
Yeah, well, and I mean, another storyline is the coaches, right?
Yeah.
Another storyline here is the coaches. You have Kevin O'Sullivan on one side for the Florida Gators, then you also have Will Bolt. This is Nebraska's second regional appearance under Will Bolt. Obviously, the first one was in 2021 in Will Bolt's first full season with Nebraska, where they went down to Fayetteville, made the regional final. I think there was the expectation after that they needed to go back to that every single season. Now it's the first one since 2021 that they've been back into a regional. But then you look at Florida and you take away the COVID year, every single season that Florida's coach Kevin O'Sullivan has been there, they've made the regional. They've made the College World Series 8 times under Kevin O'Sullivan. They've made it 4 straight times from 2015 to 2018. They've won 9 regionals in his 17 seasons. This is a guy that's been there. On one side, certainly has it. Florida has their fewest wins since 2013 when they won 29 that season. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond to not necessarily being in the driver's seat for a regional that they've been so accustomed to in the 17 seasons under Kevin O'Sullivan.
If I'm Coach O'Sullivan, I think that's the exact angle I'm playing up is we're not the favorite, right? Last year was tough. We were the hunted. Everyone was coming for us. We got everyone's best shot. Now here are these yahoos from Lincoln, Nebraska making the drive down saying, oh, they're only third. They're overlooking us. And I think that can play in Florida's favor, right? Because when you think of last year's Florida team, how veteran it was, how experienced it was, it stood up underneath the pressure of expectations, made it all the way to the College World Series and ran into an LSU team that kind of felt like a team of destiny with Cruz and Skeens and the rest of that team. But this year's Florida team, younger, some guys stepping up into bigger roles from last year, still growing into them. Caglianone has been far and away the best player on that team on both sides of the ball. Yeah. But this is a Florida team that I think is probably more dangerous without that weight of expectation, maybe able to play a little bit more free to say, hey, we're not asking you to play the best baseball you've ever played. We're asking you to keep doing what it is you've been doing all year. It'll play up at this ballpark, and we'll take our chance in the late innings.
I would also be fascinated. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a moment. A little bit of breaking news on a Give to Lincoln Day with CEDARS. CEDARS specifically has raised $248,000 plus dollars. $248,000 to CEDARS specifically. That is incredible. In an hour and a half, Nebraska in Lincoln, you've raised more than 50 grand for CEDARS in the last hour and about 15 minutes. That's incredible, because when we got on the air at about 12:30, you had about $196,000. So over $50,000 in just a little over an hour of time. That's incredible. So nice job to everybody involved. But we're not done yet. We got our sights set on more, as we need this indoor athletic center built for the 1,000+ kids that CEDARS works with every single day. And so once again, we've talked to a lot of folks from CEDARS. They've been incredible having us out here for the second year in a row. Thanks to Mr. Jim Blue, to Allison, to everybody involved. We're not done yet. Let's dive back into this baseball conversation when we return. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
I'm Ryan Osted. Golf is great because it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and have a competitive 18 holes, you can make it that. If you want to go out and have a scramble and just have the time of your life, if you want to have a charity golf tournament to raise money for some great cause, you can make it that. It is flexible to be whatever you need it to be at that particular moment in your life. And I've needed golf to be different things at different points in my life. And I'm certainly thankful that I was able to learn the game as a kid and continue to play it now as an adult.
Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
This is Bree Fansteel, local race car driver. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday at 7 p.m. for The Finish Line, where we discuss off-road, on-road, and sometimes next-to-the-road racing on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
This is a house of learned doctors.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard here at Cedars. Over $248,000 raised here on Give to Lincoln Day to Cedars specifically. Just incredible. We need to keep going up. Keep that number going up as well. As Nick Standard, Austin Norman with you, Rico, back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Downtown Lincoln, 1040 O Street. Stricky grubbing on some Mary Ellens. He finished up the Muchachos. Now getting his grub on with the
What happened to that
Mary
gym grind,
Ellens.
Stricky? Out the window today? That gym grind out the window today?
Yeah, Stricky's like, who? Never heard of him.
Yeah. You're on the gym blue grind today.
That's
not
right.
The gymnasium.
That is right. We're raising money today for a new indoor activity center. Basketball court, more space than just their little 4-square court that they got currently for the 1,000 students. So once again, before we found out the new number that we had raised and we got sidetracked, rightfully so, we were talking Husker baseball. And we're getting feedback on the text line talking about SEC, Big Ten. And I don't think there's been a part of us, Austin, that's definitively said the Big Ten is better than the SEC this year.
Or smarter than that.
Or that the SEC has the ability to be disrespected, right? We're not saying to disrespect the SEC. What we're saying is that looking at the numbers specifically, and while baseball is baseball and it's going to play out on the field however it may, tomorrow, I was telling Austin, like, okay, so if Nebraska falls tomorrow 2-1, and you look and there's 0 errors made by both sides, and both starting pitchers have a really successful outing, and there was one pitch that was kind of the difference, You look at it, you tip your cap and say, okay, that was just a well-played baseball game. That's baseball, right? It's the issue of things that you can control where it becomes the issue for Nebraska, and it's been the issue for Florida as well on the mound, where it's the free passes, the errors, and then pairing that with an unsustainable offense. That's how you lose games, and that's how you lose games in the postseason, because every single one of those things are magnified. We talked about the sustainability of an offense, right? Nebraska, we know, doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Now, obviously, we're blinded, and we got the rose-colored glasses on of the Big Ten tournament where Gabe Swanson hits 3, Josh Karen hits 6 over the weekend. But that's not Nebraska at its core, right? That's not Will Bolt at its core. It's great to sprinkle those in, but that's not what the identity of this team is or what they want it to be. It is for Florida. And what I mean by that, they hit a lot of home runs, but they strike out a lot, even more than Nebraska at times, where we look at the numbers. They've hit 116 home runs as a team, good for 7th in the country this year. But they've also struck out 23% of the time, Florida has. You want to talk about sustainability, it's not that they're scoring 12 runs a game on average. They're scoring just a little under 7 per game, which, yes, it's fine if you have a successful pitching staff, which Florida does not. It's similar to that midweek that you talked about last segment, where you should feel good if you score 8-9 runs a game, but not when you're giving up 7, 8, 9 runs a game as well.
If you look at just the RPI, right, a very catch-all sort of metric that, has its detractors. Nebraska's 28th and Florida's 30th.
Yeah.
They're neck and neck, right? Nebraska won 39 games, Florida won 28. At some point, you have to look at that and say, maybe Nebraska's just been better than Florida this year. Yeah, I get it. Florida has one of, if not the toughest strengths of schedule in the country, right? We get it. They play in the SEC. Those teams are always going to have tough strength of schedule. But Florida's 13-18 against quad one teams. Oh, we're being offered here.
Okay, I won't take one of these.
Yeah.
Babies. One of these for sure.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, wait. Did I touch that? Because I saw the confetti down. You know what?
Here, I'll take that if you want the confetti.
Okay, yeah,
How about
I would
that?
love the
How about
confetti.
that?
Thank you, Austin. I touched
Look
the
at
little
us.
carton. Oh,
Teamwork.
gosh.
Thank you, man.
Oh,
This
shout out
is
to
incredible.
Nothing Bundt Cakes. We got to grab those for next time. Okay, continue your point.
But the point was that Florida's 13-18 in quad one. They're 2-6 in quad two.
Yeah.
They have had plenty of opportunities, but we get into this conversation every year in March Madness is there's always a team that gets in by virtue of their strength of schedule.
Yes.
A lot of competitive losses, right? That's what Florida's had. A lot of competitive losses, but a lot of losses. Nebraska, for the most part, has found ways to win games. Has Nebraska seen anyone as good as Caglianone on the pitching bump? Not consistently.
Or at the plate.
Or at the plate, to be fair. But he's one guy in a lineup of 9. I think Nebraska's lineup 1 through 9 is deeper. I think Nebraska's rotation is deeper. Is it as tested at the highest level as Florida is? No, probably not. But Nebraska's also found ways to win more games with the team it has this year. We're not saying Nebraska should be 1 and Florida should be out of the tournament, right? That's not what we're saying at all.
Yeah.
We're saying this is an interesting matchup. We maybe give Nebraska a slight edge if both teams play the style of game that they're accustomed to. But there's a reason these teams are a 2 and a 3 seed in a mid-level sort of regional.
You're absolutely right. And once again, there's a reason that a 13-17 conference record still gets Florida in, right? Because as a country, this sounds patriotic, as a country, yes, exactly. I stand with they give SEC more respect, and understandably so, and probably rightfully so. You also know, though, that it happens every single year that Florida had a member on the committee, and that certainly benefits them. We know that every single year. They can tell us that, hey, the Florida representative steps out of the room. They can tell us all of that, and maybe that's true and authentic.
But guess what? The rest of the guys in the room don't want to piss him off.
There you go. And so it happens every single year, not just Florida, not just it'd be the same thing. So
Ole Miss a couple years ago, they made their run.
Yeah, they're going to give the benefit of the doubt. And so once again, it's not us saying that Florida shouldn't be here. It's not saying that Florida should be overlooked or we don't need to worry about Florida. It's that Nebraska certainly has a chance. It's one of the first things I said when the regional came out. Don't get distracted by the names. Do not get distracted by the names because, Oklahoma State has hosted a plethora of regionals over the last 5 years. They've also lost a lot of those at home. They have not made it out of their own regional the last couple of years. Florida has been prevalent, right? Florida's hosted a lot. They've made the regional every single year of the 17 seasons under Kevin O'Sullivan. This is one of their worst teams that's made it. That's all factual. It can still be, authentic and factual, saying respect them, but it also can be saying that in the 17 seasons, this is the most vulnerable Florida Gators team.
That's a good way to look at it, and I think part of the vulnerability will be they've had 10 days off. Baseball is such a rhythm sport, right? To have not played for 10 days by the time they take the field in actual live game action tomorrow, man, that's tough. You look at LSU, right? They're in the same division in the SEC, ended up with identical 13 and 17 records. Their RPI is only 7 spots apart for LSU and Florida. LSU is playing some of the best baseball in the country recently. Florida's not. They went one and done in Hoover.
Yeah.
They didn't make a run like Nebraska did. So I'm sure Florida's plenty confident in its abilities, but having not played for 10 days, having a record that's just one game above 500 right now, and with Nebraska, we've talked about Nebraska's flaws, but they're conference tournament champion. Nebraska had its back against the wall for 4 straight days, 5 straight games. They had to win or they had to go home. It's that sort of game pressure that Nebraska has lived in for most of the last couple months, honestly.
It has been because Nebraska, also, you think about it, it's certainly in a conversation to host. Like, we can't remember that piece of it. This is not us trying to pump Kool-Aid. Like, that's not what we're trying to do here. And we're not, I think we're doing a relatively a decent job of being realistic. To have expectations and still be realistic is something that I think we need to be doing this weekend, right? The expectation of this is a team, this is a roster that can compete at the national level in postseason play, but then the also expectation of we expect them to, right? We expect them to compete because it has been.
Their head coach does.
Their head coach does, and he's been outward spoken. That's one thing I do appreciate about Will Bolt is he's pretty transparent when it comes to, okay, what does Nebraska's program need to become relevant in the country, right? Because there's ways that you can be the North Star of a conference, especially one like the Big Ten Conference, depending on, it doesn't matter where geographically you're located. Nebraska has this chance to kind of be the Big Ten's North Star. The same way Michigan was a couple of years ago under Eric Bakich, right? Nobody expected Michigan to go into their regional and win, and they get through it. Nebraska doesn't have to make the CWS. They don't have to, right? It's compete. Show that you can compete, and that's, once again, keep baseball. And if you win a 2-1 ball game, you tip your cap and say much respect to Florida. That was an overall well-played baseball game. If you lose 2-1, you're going to say the same exact thing because that's just the way baseball is.
Nick, I'm just going to be honest with people here. Going into this regional, I'm in a very similar spot to where I was with Nebraska men's basketball going into the basketball tournament. You can see the matchup for Nebraska to win. You can see the problems that the opponent causes.
Yeah,
you absolutely can. If Nebraska makes a run, will I be surprised? No. If Nebraska goes 0-2 or like one and done like it was in March, would I be surprised? No, absolutely not. But the bigger point is this program needs expectations. This program deserves expectations, right? You can't be enough just to make a regional and say, oh, here's the SEC team. It's a tough draw for Nebraska. I guess we're 0-1.
Yeah.
No, you have to go in with this as at least a coin flip game. At the very least, and that mindset that I think permeates the fan base of, oh, well, Nebraska needs a cakewalk to get to, hosting a regional or hosting a super regional. No, to me, what Nebraska baseball needs is the grind. It needs the gritty over pretty. It needs a break to go its way and someone else losing a game, maybe they shouldn't, and then take advantage. I don't want Nebraska fans to want a cakewalk. I want them to want their programs to earn the expectations, to stand up under the weight of them and say, hey, look, we came out the other side better and stronger for it, and you can enjoy the ride with us.
We also haven't mentioned the fan part.
Right.
There, we are expecting plenty of Nebraska fans in attendance, and tickets are around $60. There's very few available in the reserve seats. Some a season ticket holder replied to one of our tweets yesterday and said, hey, can you guys share this? Because I'm not going to the first game. Nebraska fans eat that stuff up. And so there's an opportunity here for Nebraska to kind of, as they do with a lot of road venues, take it over for when Nebraska's playing, right? Because if Nebraska, we said the statistic yesterday, I believe, maybe not even on air, only 3 of the last 64 regional winners have lost their first game. Think about that statistic. 3 of the last 64 regional winners have lost their first game. That means that 61 out of the 64, maybe this is a better way to phrase it, 61 out of the last 64 regional winners have won their first game in the regional. Starting 1-0 is so crucial. And Nebraska has a chance to do it on Friday, 2 p.m., ESPN+. Austin and I will be down there. We're dipping out of here later on this afternoon. on our way to Stillwater. So once again, good stuff there. When we come back, we're going to keep baseball conversation going because Jorge Lopez of the New York Mets made some
Old
waves.
friend alert, Royals fans.
Yep, there it is. Jorge Lopez tossed his glove into the stands and now has gotten designated for assignment. So we got plenty of stuff to get to coming up over the next couple of hours as we wrap up the happy hour in the next segment, and then Stricky will join us as well, and Austin and Stricky will take it into the 4 o'clock hour as well. We'll come right back. You're listening to Give to Lincoln Day coverage from CEDARS, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. See a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. An afternoon high around 76. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see a continued chance of showers and storms. An afternoon high around 74. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group, led by Dr. Daniel Tomes and Dr. Benjamin Bixeman, is committed to providing the best care for all of your neurosurgery needs, like minimally invasive spine procedures, peripheral nerve release, brain surgery, including tumor removal and brain injury management, and more. The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group has outreach clinics throughout Nebraska and northern Kansas. Schedule your appointment with the region's top neurosurgeons at 402-904-4729 at the Nebraska Neurosurgery Group in Lincoln on South 27th Street. Or check out the website, nebraskaneurosurgery.net, for a full list of services and outreach clinics.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. Believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
When I gave you the cookie, I heard very clearly, I don't think about you, Schmidt.
Why would I think about you?
Because we're friends. We're not animals.
We're men. The only time a man is allowed to think about another man is when that man is Jay Cutler.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard here at Cedars. Nick Sainert, Austin Norman. Now DP joins us as well from the text line 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, the Honda Lincoln hotline, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream if you want to see what's going on out here on the porch at Cedars. It's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. Shout out to Colligan J, as he just texted in, said $525 investment made on behalf of Halls Colligan of Lincoln. Morrow Collision will be matching their donation.
Outstanding. Let's go.
Well done. So now you're looking at $1,050 total from just those two parties. So great job there. I believe we are over the $250,000 mark.
Over the $250,000, but remember what the real target is, as much as possible. And I want to say, for the next two people who just happen to be driving down Pioneer Boulevard and want to make a donation, I don't care what size, don't care. It's not the thing. But we can take care of them in a certain way. We appreciate for folks stopping by and doing that. And then here's the challenge that, if you're, we know folks are on DraftKings and they're putting up their $50 weekly. Hey, bet on Lincoln. Bet on Lincoln. Bet on Lincoln. You know what? You're going to go splurge a little extra cash. Call your friends, gather yours up, and come up with, fantasy football league, fantasy baseball league, fantasy NBA, right? Folks that are wagering on tonight's conference final.
Yeah.
Get to the table, make your donation to Cedars.
There it is.
And you can do it digitally. Not that nice. You don't have to stop by here. You can just click. It's 4 clicks.
Mm-hmm. GiveToLincoln.com. Make sure you select Cedars, put in the amount, put in your information, and you're good to go. Simple as that. You can also have a drive-by investment if you want to. If you do want, like DP said, if you are driving down Pioneers Boulevard, stop on by, say hello, not only to us, but also the great folks at Cedars, because, man, they have been incredible today.
And Magic came by, made a donation to do that. So, and then I wrote another check. So there's a small thing. You know what? Call my wife over here.
Hey, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Come on over.
Rebecca.
Come on over.
Again, in this thing that we're asking people to kind of go into their pockets for the greater good of Give to Lincoln Day. And I think it's important for folks to kind of know that
take me off of that.
We will put our money where our mouth is, and we want to keep things moving. So, wife of mine, what should we do? What can we do?
What can we do? Well, we're at this amazing place on Pioneers called Cedars. We've been here all day. Start at 6 a.m. You guys were rocking it, and here till 6 p.m. kind of a cool place, helping out kids, kids that need opportunities like many of us have gotten. And as you know, my mother did this for an entire career. So I feel like this is a great place to contribute to. So we're going to make our own personal Pearson donation.
So we made a collective donation this morning on behalf of Valerie K. Joyner, Becky's mom.
Mother.
And that was a $1,000 donation on behalf of the service and love that she put into the space. And that this is her kind of event.
Yes.
This is her kind of place. But from Becky and I, what we are choosing to do, wife, would you let them know what we're going to just again? It's a small thing that we just
Watch out for the balloons.
Yeah,
Just attacked by the balloons.
They don't want to. They want you to say anything.
They like cough it up. Yeah, cough it up.
Yeah, give it to us.
So we're going to donate $1,000 to Cedars. There go the balloons.
Jake, they're coming for you.
The balloons knew. The balloons knew.
They
trying to
did.
throw
They
a
were
party.
breaking loose.
The
So,
balloons
Throw a
knew.
party.
yeah, we're excited to donate $1,000 on behalf of the Pearsons. The ticket for some amazing place. We hope that other people will contribute, try to match us. Please outdo us. We would love that. I want to get to 300,000 for these guys. Like, there's no we got hours
Right
and
there,
hours
right
left.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing is, as earlier we found out about 12:30 they were at 196,000.
Yep.
At 1:30 they were at 148.
Exactly.
Or excuse me, 148,000. Or excuse me, 248. Thank you,
248.
Austin. And so that's $50,000 in less than an hour.
Right.
We have 3 hours left.
Yeah.
Let's stay
So
on
let's
that
be
pace.
3 hours
goes
on
till
air.
midnight.
Goes till midnight.
Exactly.
So that doesn't have to stop after 6 p.m. We
Definitely
just got to
not.
get people riled up here and driving by, throwing money out the window. Last year, people were driving by. Do we have anybody throw money out
yeah.
the window?
Oh,
Nice.
he threw stacks.
Stacks of
It was-
money.
it was-
The guy had
it
actually
was
bank
It was a
stacks.
wad.
Nice. Go to the bank. Everybody listening, go to the bank. Don't rob the bank, but go to the bank.
It's only
Take
for
money out of
charity,
you.
it's
Yes,
okay.
please don't do that on our behalf. But go to the bank, take some money out, drop it by Cedars. We're super excited. Great place, great people
Yeah.
here, awesome opportunity. So we're excited.
It's
So that'll be the final bump for this hour.
yes.
And then Strick will come on and we'll let the Hall of Famer drive donations. And it could be there's several different ways. I'm pretty much sure that you could get a golf foursome out of Strickland for the right donation.
Yeah, we need to get over 300.
Like we can push some things. So
Yeah.
there's some things we're gonna do. Gentlemen, finish the hour for us, please.
It's been a great morning, afternoon, and it's about to be a great evening here at Cedars. Once again, GiveToLincoln.com. Huge thanks to everybody involved from Cedars, especially Mr. Jim Blue. He's been phenomenal today. Thanks to Muchachos, Mary Ellen's, all the members of
Beatrice
the
Baking
Cedars
Company
team.
gave us cake.
Beatrice Bakery with the hand-infused raspberry chocolate cake that is unbelievable. It's been a really good 2 hours flown by. It's been good weather. Hopefully the rain stays away throughout the rest of the afternoon as well. The sun is shining and all for all the right reasons, as it's been over $250,000 raised. Let's keep that going. Strick and Austin have you covered until 4 p.m. For that'll do it for us here on the Happy Hour. Thanks to Rico back in our studios. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at GiveToLincoln.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group, led by Dr. Daniel Tomes and Dr. Benjamin Bigseman, is committed to providing the best care for all of your neurosurgery needs, like minimally invasive spine procedures, peripheral nerve release, brain surgery,